Adam has arrived.
Hey, Maurice and Odie gonna take over like Zach and Cody. Black and Snurdy is the best podcast. Gonna boom like Wile E. Coyote. Gonna meet magic, they move like they hairy. Ain't talking about mental health, no, it's not scary. You know that she coming up with the astrology. Mo got a comic and that's the best policy. Maurice the GOAT, talking about animation cause you know. Odie, she moving wavy like the boat. Watching some movies and she's taking notes. Yeah, kick back, listen. Black and Snurdy have risen. Upload on a mission. 5 stars, never dissing. Black and Snurdy, ooh. Black and Snurdy, yeah. Black and Snurdy.
Hello and welcome to another episode of the Black and Snurdy podcast, the only podcast where two sexy black nerds get together to shoot the shit. I am Mo, aka Kid Licorish.
And I'm Odie.
And together we are the aforementioned Snurds here on episode 143 of the Black and Snurdy podcast.
And Maurice, I just have one thing that I would like to say to you.
Mm-hmm.
May the 4th be with you.
Well, first off, that... I look so thick in this photo.
What's wrong with being thick?
There's nothing wrong with being
You have a lot
thick.
of clothes on.
Is that what that is?
You have a whole...
My neck looks like it's the thickest it's ever been.
I gave it a picture.
I actually don't like that. Is that a shadow casting or is that not a full bald head?
I don't know. I just gave it a picture, so whatever was in the picture is probably...
I'm gonna want to see the picture that you used, but it's okay. All right, well, may the 4th be with you as well. This is obviously May 4th when this is being recorded. And that is officially Star Wars Day. We are currently watching Andor. How do you feel about Andor second season?
I really like it. I really like the Andor. I don't know what is it called?
Andor.
No, but I mean like
The first season. You ask what is it called, and then you get exacerbated when I give you
that's what I'm not.
potential
That's
answers.
not what I'm asking you.
Mm-hmm.
It's obviously a new show, new season.
Mm-hmm.
But what is it called? Is it like it's not a?
It's a prequel.
It's a prequel.
It's a prequel to. So in the timeline, this takes place before This takes place after Revenge of the Sith, but before A New Hope, because it takes place before the other movie, the other prequel movie. Remember?
Which is the other prequel? The one with the... Because remember they came out with those 2 Star Wars movies?
Not Han Solo, but the other one.
And it was like 2 different white girls, but everybody thought they were the same.
Right, but it was that movie.
Okay, I don't remember that one.
That movie, I'm blanking on it.
I'm looking it up.
Yeah. It is called...
So this is the one. Is it episode? We have episode 7, The Force Awakens.
No, those are
8, The Last Jedi.
Those are the trilogies.
Okay.
Rogue One, yes, a Star Wars story.
Okay.
Yeah, Rogue One. Where people were saying it was Rouge One.
Yes.
Because people cannot spell.
I made those because yes, it's May 4th, but because of there was something that the White House posted today.
Mm-hmm.
That I thought was hilarious. Not hilarious, haha, but more so just like these people are so dumb. But it says the White House posted this picture of this super veined up, steroided up Donald Trump, and it said "Happy the 4th to all." Happy May the 4th to all, which already you're at the gate. You're starting off terrible.
Because that's not even how it
goes. It's happy May the 4th.
Happy May the 4th.
That doesn't even make any sense.
That's terrible.
Like, get out of here. And then it says, including the radical left lunatics who are fighting so hard to bring Sith lords, murderers, drug lords, dangerous prisoners, and well-known MS-13 gang members back into our galaxy, which is capitalized. Well, a lot of these, it's very weird capitalization.
This is the official White House Twitter account,
the official one,
that's saying this.
You're not the rebellion, you're the empire. May the 4th be with you.
This is wrong on so many levels. This is wrong on so many levels. Yes. First off, the rebellion is the empire is the one that's in power. Obviously, they can't be the empire because they're not the ones in power. Second of all, why are there fucking eagles just in the background? Like, if you're gonna have it, I get it. It's America. I get that, but if it's gonna be America, you don't have to have 2 eagles. You can just have 1. Why is there 2 American flags? Why? Like, and that's not even getting into the ridiculousness of this is AI. It has to be AI,
yeah, of
right?
Course.
Because
we just lost like 2 tons of water for this photo, and so we had to see it.
No one had to see that. And you're using the color of the red lightsaber. That means you're a bad guy. That means you are a Sith.
Have been arguing in the comments about whether this is an orange red lights or orange or red.
It's red. Lightsaber. It looks red. First off,
so they're trying to say that it's an orange lightsaber, which represents balance, individuality, and a unique approach to the Force.
That's not.
And everyone else is like, orange. You're lying. But this one I thought was funny. We'll rebuild the Death Star. It'll be amazing. Believe me, so luxurious, and the rebels will pay for it.
You know what?
We're gonna build it. That's done. The rest of it is fake news. We're building the Death Star. You're going to love it. It's going to be amazing. Lots of people love it. Everybody's been telling me they love it. We need the Death Star. It's going to be great.
It really upsets me to think that he is Palpatine. Like, in the metaphor of all of this, he would be considered Palpatine because he's the emperor. He is the one who's secretly in charge. Not secretly in charge.
As hell.
He's obviously in charge. Like, he's old as shit, old as dirt. Looks like lightning was flickered at his face. That's why his hair looks like that.
Well, if you all don't know, the red lightsaber in Star Wars is a strong symbol of the dark side of the Force.
Yes.
Typically used by Sith Lords. It represents power, ambition, aggression, and the desire for control, often associated with negative emotions like anger and hate. So obviously he has the red lightsaber.
Yeah.
What else would anybody in
He represents anger and hate. Like, that's all there is to it.
Yeah. There's nothing to be like, there's nothing that we could be like, oh, I don't know, because it's very clear. He's been stealing people and deporting them for no reason.
I would refer to him as a Sith Lord with the except for the fact that it would mean having to refer to him as a Lord of anything, which I don't like. I don't like that. Yes, Lord of the. You've seen him dance, right? His little weird shimmy thing that he does.
Unfortunately.
Oh my goodness. Not a good representation of white people dancing.
No, it's the worst one, probably.
Yeah.
But I had to, because if he's gonna be wasting water, I'm at least waste water one time for the one time, and we're gonna see. Like, I think that we look great as Jedi. Very cool costumes that we have. We should get those done.
Are we evaporating water somehow by using AI? Is that what's going on?
AI uses so much water every single time.
Is that true?
Yes.
How?
Because it's the processors. Because you know how with computers if you have like any sort of place that's like a processing with computers and things, it has to cool it down. And so one of the main one of the main issues that people have with any sort of AI is the amount of water. So here's a article from Forbes from February of last year, and it's talking about the water usage. And according to the UN Environmental Report, nearly 2/3 of our world's population experiences severe water shortages for at least 1 month a year. And by 2030, the gap is predicted to become much worse.
Mm-hmm.
And so with AI, it uses so much water. It says that the U.S. relies on water-intensive thermoelectric plants for electricity, indirectly increasing data centers' water footprint with an average of 43.8 liters by every kWh. I don't know what that is. Oh, kWh is energy used. Liters of water to evaporate per kWh of energy used. So with the data centers,
kilowatts, right? kWh,
maybe kilowatts. It says with the data centers using cooling towers and air mechanisms to dissipate heat, it causes up to 9 liters of water to evaporate per kilowatt of energy used.
Yes, kilowatt hours.
So right now, from this article from February last year, it says AI's projected water usage could hit 6.6 billion M3. And now I don't know what metric tons, maybe? I don't M cubed or M to the third by 2027, which is signaling a need to tackle its water footprint. Because how else are they gonna cool it down? AI has a lot of
drawbacks
sustainability wise, both on people and the planet. It uses a lot of water, it uses a lot of electricity, and also they have found that a lot of the ways you're getting these like automated translations and things like that is basically like slave labor.
Mm-hmm.
Instead of having people working in sweatshops to make you sweaters, they are basically working in like these transcription sweatshops or whatever. That's why when they're
working at these like transformers type places.
Yeah, they're working on the computers, they're answering these questions, and they're doing this stuff for you. But that's one of the reasons why AI, I think, probably has issues with being like 100% correct, because it's not like you think you're going to put it in the AI. It's scouring the internet for the message and giving it to you, but in some instances, you might be getting answers from a person. Right. Not that they're telling you they're based on their opinion, but like if they're the ones who are doing like these Google searches and finding something, giving it to you, it may not necessarily be correct.
Sure.
But we know that Trump doesn't care about water or any sort of climate change. Doesn't believe in climate change.
He doesn't care about anything.
Why would he care about that? But you know, I feel like sometimes I want to use the fun tools too. Okay. I'm sorry to the rainforest that died for the creation of our photo.
Yeah. So sorry, all you canopies, the rainforest canopies. You don't exist anymore.
Sorry, I'm very sorry about that.
It is what it is. We got that photo of my thick ass neck.
Well, talking about thick necks, we have a lot of shenanigans to talk about. Well, not a lot. We have like basically two main one things we want to talk about this week. But do you want to get into our pop topics?
Sure. Yes, absolutely.
When you want a hot meal without a big deal, what are you gonna pick?
Pop topics. It's funny that you said shenanigans. I was gonna say, do you want to get into the Shannonigans? The Shannonigans?
Yes, I do want to get into the Shannonigans. The Shannonigans. So
the Shannonigans, because Shannon is at it again.
Back at it again with another sex scandal. So Shannon Sharpe.
Yes.
We have not talked about this yet.
No, we have not.
But basically, this was in maybe the beginning of April. It came out that he has a lawsuit against him, which was made by Gabriella Zuniga, a 20-year-old OnlyFans model, has filed a $50 million civil lawsuit against Sharpe in Nevada. She's alleging that their relationship, which the relationship was
consensual at some point, but then
there were some instances where
essayed.
He had taken away consent or was being like, even if she consented to possibly doing like BDSM or sex or anything like that, that there were sometimes he went past what she consented, or just did not care about her consent at all.
Right.
She's saying that the relationship started in 2023, that it turned abusive, and that there were 2 instances of rape in October 24 and January 2025. And that he also alleging that he recorded their sexual encounters without her consent. If you remember, we talked about this last year, I think, or some months ago when it happened. But remember that time there was like he had a leaked or accidental Instagram live.
That's my Michelle. Yeah.
Yes, unfortunately. Michelle Obama still needs to sue him for that. But that went live, and that was apparently was her. And so she was saying that she was humiliated by it, and that she, did not consent to that.
Wait, what's her name again?
Gabrielle Zuniga.
Where is the Michelle part? Is that their sex name?
This is a very good question.
Because I know, like, I saw, I didn't click on it, but there was a video floating around on YouTube where Shannon Sharpe's Michelle spoke out. Apparently,
this was when, last year?
No, this was recent. I'm gonna see if I can find the video, but yeah, like I didn't realize that this was the same person.
Yeah.
Okay.
This is her. And I found a video or picture of her. Let me share it real quick. So this is from Love B. Scott's website. And this is her. So she's 20 years old. Apparently she does OnlyFans, may also do modeling, not sure. But her lawyer is Tony Busby, which does give me some pause.
Yes, it does.
Because we talked about Tony Busby before on the podcast. He was the one who was conflating or trying to create this abuse scandal with Jay-Z in connection with Diddy.
Yeah.
And he had hired or manipulated a young woman who may be dealing with some mental incapacities or something going on, that he basically got her to lie and do all these interviews to say Jay-Z like touched her, even though there were so many holes and like inconsistencies in the story. Eventually he dropped that. He also has gotten in trouble with the bar association in different states for things he was doing. But he's her lawyer, which can mean various things. I don't know if that means you could trust it or not, but
it does raise at least an eyebrow.
It raises an eyebrow.
It raises a little bit of an eyebrow. Especially, I'll say this, like, I don't know if this is, I don't know if this is what happened or if it's true or anything like that. I always go with the victim, because I'm like, believe victims, believe the women who say these things. It could be an instance where she can't afford to get legal help, and so she had to go with Busby. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know how popular of an OnlyFans. I know OnlyFans people who make no money.
That's true. That is true.
That makes like chump change.
I mean, but I would say
shout out to you. I'm not gonna say names, obviously.
I would say that it could be that, or it could be that Busby, who is described as an ambulance chaser, and if you don't know what that is, those are lawyers. When they use the term ambulance chaser is for those lawyers who will basically be chasing ambulances into hospitals, and when they'll look for people who are sick, who maybe have gotten hurt, and they're trying to get them to let them represent them so that they can try to get money back. And sometimes they are doing it in a kind of altruistic way because they're going to try to get the families money, but a lot of times they're just trying to put up these cases for people who are desperate and in need.
Yeah.
And because at the end of the day, if you have a lawyer, a lot of times you might have to pay them even if your case loses. It's not always consistent.
It's a sort of parasitic symbiosis.
Yeah. So being called an ambulance chaser is not.
It's not a good look.
It's frowned upon.
It's not a good look
in that if you're in the industry.
Yeah.
So she could have reached out to him, or he could have reached out to her and been like, let's try to make this money. Because $50 million is a lot.
Yeah. We don't know.
Apparently, I read something that Lanny Davis, who is Shannon Sharpe's lawyer, he said that he offered the plaintiff she's a plaintiff?
Yes, because Shannon would be the defendant.
Yeah, so he offered her $10 million to settle, which she rejected. And they've been, his lawyer has called this a shakedown. Sharpe has called this a shakedown. His lawyer has called it a shakedown. Sharpe said in a video on Instagram, let me play it. He said he's going to be transparent. Let me put this on.
While you're doing that, I will say it is also very convenient or very weird timing that all of this is happening while he's negotiating a contract.
Oh, is he? Is he trying to buy NBC?
Yeah. Yes, he's trying to buy NBC. But no, he's also he was in negotiations with ESPN. Yeah.
Well, not anymore because he stepped down from ESPN.
Yeah.
But this is after this came out, this was the video that Shannon Sharpe put out on his Instagram press release.
Friends, supporters, and colleagues, I want to speak directly and from the heart. This is a shakedown. I'm going to be open, transparent, and defend myself because this isn't right. This is all being orchestrated by Tony Busby, who has targeted Jay-Z. Tony Busby targets black men, and I believe he's going to release a 30-second clip of a sex tape that tries to make me look guilty and play into every stereotype you could possibly imagine. That video should actually be 10 minutes or so. Hey, Tony, instead of releasing your edit, put the whole video out. I don't have it, or I would myself. You know what happened, and you're trying to manipulate the media. The encounter in question took place during the day at her invitation, and now that appears to be a deliberate setup, coordinated by Gabby, also known as Carly on OnlyFans. Gabby and Tony Busby want $50 million. What they're getting is sued for defamation and trying to take me down. My career is all about real talk and honesty. I know my family and fans know exactly what this is about. And I'm going to be out there telling you whatever I need to say, just like I always do. I love all you guys. Thanks. To my family.
Okay. So Shannon Sharpe is... I have a question. So far, no sex tape has been uncovered or released on either side of this
Only
case.
thing that has been released that I have seen
are text messages.
Are the text messages,
yes,
and an audio.
Right.
That's all I've seen.
I don't want to see a sex tape of Shannon Sharpe. No offense to Shannon Sharpe. I'm sure There are plenty of people out there who find him handsome or something. I personally do not.
I mean, we've seen how you dance. We don't need.
See how I dance? What do you mean?
Talking about Shannon Sharpe?
Oh, okay. I'm about to say, like, what is that supposed to mean? Is that I'm about to say, is that a slur? You seen how you dance? No, I absolutely do not want to see any sort of sex tape that may come out of Shannon Sharpe. I've already listened to one with him and Michelle. Like, I don't need to actually see anything to prove anything about anything in this case whatsoever. Yeah. So let's try to keep these sex tape under wraps, because no one needs that into the world. That's not the world that I want to live in. I don't want to live in a Shannon Sharpe sex tape world. I just don't. I don't. I've seen way too many celebrity sex tapes in my lifetime. Side note, this is a side note. This has nothing to do with this particular case, but it just reminded me of celebrity sex tapes. Remember when R. Kelly's came out and everybody was shopping that around in like in the barbershops and shit
and all that,
and people were buying it? It's only years later that people are just like, this is child pornography.
Yeah. Y'all were fucking fighting over
everybody had it
to watch a 13-year-old.
Everybody had it. Everybody had it.
And we're excited. Like, y'all were playing that at house parties and shit. Like, that's weirdo behavior.
Everybody had it. It was like literally a black community touchstone.
Because it was everywhere.
It was everywhere. Like, if it wasn't in your household, then it's 7 degrees of R. Kelly sex tape in this in the community. Like, if you didn't have it yourself, then your grandparents had it, or you had an uncle who had it, or you had an aunt who had it, or your best friend's parents had it, or something. Somebody had it that was in arm's reach of you.
That you could just, all you had to do was go to the barbershop and you were going to find it.
And it was there. It was right there. Sorry. We're talking about Shannon Sharpe. That just blew my mind.
But no, all of it has been blowing everybody's mind. And we have here are some responses from Black men in media that I felt like we should watch.
Sure.
And let's hear these folks give their perspective. The first person,
if it's Dr. Umar, and it is, isn't it?
All right, this first one is Dr. Umar, who notoriously, if you don't know who he is, he tries to pretend like he's a Pan-African leader who loves Black people in the Black community. And, always just wants us to do better. And he has a school that he's been raising money for like a decade or more. Nobody's ever seen the money. No one's ever seen the school. But he's always crowdfunding. So one of his things he says all the time is like, Black women I think it's Black women forever, snow bunnies never. I think he says a lot. So here is his response to the Shannon Sharpe incident.
I'm standing with Uncle Shannon because I don't like when Black men get taken down. I got to stand by him. Yes, he's a lifetime snow bunny hopper. Yes, he's a lifetime snow bunny hopper, but that's my brother. Uncle Shannon Sharpe is my brother. I'm standing with Uncle Shannon Sharpe until the facts prove otherwise. I'm standing with Uncle Shannon Sharpe until the facts prove otherwise.
Now,
if you can promise me that you will never seek the company of another snow bunny, I cannot stand with you. Uncle Shay Shay. Uncle Shay Shay. I'm standing with you, Unc. I think it's a scam. I'm standing with you, Unc. I think it's a scam. I'm standing with Uncle Shannon Sharpe on this one. I'm standing with Uncle Shannon Sharpe on this one, but Uncle Shay Shay, no more bunnies after this. Can somebody confirm if he's being accused by snow bunnies or Afro Queens? I'm standing with Uncle Shannon because I don't like when black men get taken down. I got to stand by him. Yes, he's a lifetime snow bunny hopper. Yes, he's a lifetime snow bunny hopper, but that's my brother. Uncle Shannon Sharpe is my brother. I'm standing with Uncle Shannon Sharpe until the facts prove otherwise. I'm standing with Uncle Shannon Sharpe until the facts prove otherwise.
Is he saying new things, or is
like
he
he's saying
just
the same
repeating
thing
the same thing
over and
He's
over?
very repetitious. I will give him that. Like when it comes to creating sound bites, like all you have to do is just repeat yourself. Like he's a snow bunny hopper. He's a snow bunny hopper. What if he has OCD and he has to say things twice or three times?
That could be it.
Dr. Umar has OCD.
But honestly, I'm not surprised about him saying that. If it was been a black woman who was arguing this, he would have a lot more things to say because he hates black women.
Who does, Shannon or Dr. Umar?
Dr. Umar.
Oh, okay.
And Dr. Umar, anytime a black man does something, he's gonna be sitting beside him. If it's a black woman, you might have to wait 3 to 5 business days. Because he anything we do, whether it's wearing wigs, getting lipo, dyeing your hair blonde, whatever,
right?
Don't let it be with a white man, because he's really trying to get you up out of there. Cameron.
I wonder what he had to say about Quinta.
I'm sure he had a lot to say. I'm glad we didn't hear it. So on Cameron's and Mace's podcast, it is what it is. He weighed in on his thoughts.
So from what I got from what you said, stay away from them white bitches. That's what you said in a real politically correct way. Yo, y'all black niggas that be fucking with these white bitches, see what happens? That's what Stat just said in a very professional way. That was really nice the way you put that, because that's all you really said. This what happened when you fuck with them white bitches. That's what you get. That's exactly what I heard from you. But look, it's a few, like you said, it's a lot of shit to unpack with this. First thing you said, $100 million, now they want 50 out of nowhere. But you know, when you sue for 50, you don't really want 50. You take about 23, 20, 24, you go for the high number so you can settle out for what you really want. That's first and foremost. Secondly, she 20. How old? 92?
50. So I'm gonna get his
like,
exact
you gotta know what's going on. Not saying she don't fuck with you. Listen, I remember
56.
56. I remember Delicious from Flavor of Love wanted Unc. She was on his body too. Unc stay in shape. He popping, etc. It's a lot going on. Especially he has a newfound light. You know what I'm saying? What I will say is this, is that to me, for this last few years, and I'm talking about not even a few years, probably 6, 7 years now, because he started on, what is that shit with Skip he was doing? Whatever that shit was called, Undisputed, about 6, 7 years ago. So you have Undisputed. Then he has the success with Club Shay Shay. Then he has his other shows that he do on the internet. Then not only that, you leave Undisputed and go to First Take. So when I first seen Shannon on the internet arguing, going back and forth with certain people, you know, even me and him had a couple words here and there. Nothing crazy. I got mad love for Uncle, super duper love for that nigga. But when I see him going back and forth with other people, so to speak, and I say, he doesn't get it. Now he probably gets it. He's getting more seasoned. I'm talking about last year when he's arguing the sex tape, if you want to call it that, and going back, and before that was other things, people saying that he was gay, and he's going back and forth arguing with people. I'm saying it's one thing being a successful athlete, and then it's a different thing being a successful entertainer, even though sports is entertainment. But, you know, Shannon Sharpe is a Hall of Famer, Super Bowl champion, so people know who he is. But now you're sitting there talking about people. It's one thing when you're catching the ball, scoring touchdowns. It's another thing when you're opinionated about different people. So he found a new brand of success, and I don't think he knew about it in the beginning because, you know, he used to say, my sister said, when you're at the top, this, that, and third. Yeah, nigga, That's the way it goes. People are going to want to come at you when you're successful in this realm. When you're successful in football, people can't run as fast as you or jump as high as you or catch touchdowns. It's something different to where you're being opinionated. And now that you have a smartphone, everybody has an opinion. Anybody with a smartphone can have an opinion. So when you have this newfound success, you got to know how to move, especially with the bitches. You got to know how to move, my nigga, because they all, I'm not saying niggas don't fuck with you, but they want something. They want a couple dollars. They want 25,000 in cheek. Fuck is that? Yo, 25,000 in cheek, and you still speak to the bitch? Like you said, to me, it sounds like they had a lot of, what's the word? I don't want to use BDSM. They had a lot of like little rough relationship. When I say that, choke her and she like it, or grab her up and she like it. Because there's some shit I read it too, that he had anal sex and she got mad because he ain't put the condom on or some shit like that. Obviously, Shorty likes some of this shit, my personal opinion. And like Stat said, I don't want to be disrespectful to anybody going through something serious. But the first thing I took from this when I heard it was, look, he was living in California and moved to Nevada. She moved from California to Nevada too. So if somebody's being abusive to you in one state, why would you move to the next state with the same nigga who's abusing you? I don't know. Me personally, I found the red flag with that personally.
But the first question that Cameron asked, and I would say, Cameron, you're looking very good. Mm-hmm. You're looking very healthy. He's looking like a young man. I like you in your suit.
He does look nice in a suit.
He does. Yeah. I feel like this is a good step.
I've never seen his podcast, so in my mind, it's always him dressed up in his pink attire. But I didn't realize at the very least that he wasn't even wearing like a pink suit. You know what I mean?
He looks like a grown man.
He looks like an adult, you know? Good on you, Cameron.
So there were some things that he said that obviously make you think about what does her being a white woman, how does that impact what's happening? Mm-hmm. Shannon Sharpe was a sports star before. Now he's an entertainer, and that's a different lifestyle. Mm-hmm. And like also, you don't know how to play the game of I'm not just a regular celebrity. I'm like an older celebrity with a lot of money, with a lot of people looking at me. Like, do you know how to navigate those surroundings, or are you just kind of
out here fucking around?
Yeah,
essentially. Like, he fucking around as if he's a young man.
Yeah.
And he's not. Uncle Shannon is not a fucking young person.
He's not.
In the least.
He's not.
How old is he actually? 56?
Yeah.
Oh, my goodness.
And she's 20. They met when she was 19. There was some allegations that maybe she might have been 17 or 18 when they met. But I feel like that's
still too young.
Why are you, as somebody in your 50s, talking to anybody with teen, who's a teenager?
Yeah,
regardless of if they're legal or like age consent or whatever. Why are you, as a grown man, like at 50 something, you shouldn't be trying to talk to anybody who is under like 35, or 30 at the youngest.
Even late 20s is a bit of a stretch. I feel like
at 50 something,
nobody knows anything at teenage years. So like, what the fuck are you doing?
I think that's kind of what a lot of men want. They
want
the person
monsters who crave young flesh,
who doesn't want to know anything. And this is honestly his karma, because this is what he was talking with Chad Ochocinco. Mm-hmm. And they were talking about dating, and he was talking about the women he likes to date. So this was from some years ago.
Talking about date your age. I want to date my wage. So come on with it.
Well, you talking?
As a matter of fact, I'm taking applicants as we speak.
Well, you talking spicy tonight, boy.
Always talking about date your age. I want to date my wage.
My question is, how are you dating your wage?
As a teenager or even early 20s is making anything close to what Shannon Sharpe is making?
Well, he's saying
unless they were a fucking child star on a Disney sitcom or
when
some shit.
he says date your wage, I don't think he's saying he wants to date somebody with the wage as much as he has. He's saying I make so much money that I'm only trying to date the baddies who are younger. And
I see what you're saying.
So he's saying
date how much you can pay for.
Not that. Like he's saying, like I have so much money, so I don't have to stay within the confines of my age range. I can go to the people in their 40s, their 30s, their 20s, and even at 18 because I have so much money that I have all the options here for me. There are a plethora of women I could pick from because who's going to stop me? I have all this money. I have all this power. I have all this influence.
Which is just the worst mindset to have if you want to keep your money.
It is. But also...
But like you can tell that he's nouveau rich.
There were two comedians
new rich
who tried to have a conversation with him about this on Club Shay Shay, and I'll play the two clips. The first one is what's her name? Monique.
Yeah.
They were on his show and she was talking to him about dating women and picking the right person, and this is what they had to say.
This dating thing, because it's Mo is different now than when you and I.
It's different, baby. I'm grateful I'm not 56 and trying.
But you trying to say what you trying to say? Mo,
I'm looking right at you.
I know you looking at your
I ain't backing down. You better take your old ass and get somebody to love you.
Damn, Mo.
Now I'm looking right at you. Let me tell y'all what Shannon needs.
Let me
tell you what my baby needs. He need him an old fat gal who can bake good cakes, make some smothered turkey wings, who gonna rub his feet at the nighttime, okay, and gonna have a sip of his cognac to make him feel better about himself when he come home at night. That's what Shannon needs. You don't need no 26-year-old girl. You don't need no 36-year-old girl.
I do.
This is your auntie talking to you. Take your old ass and get you an old bitch out there that can love you old. You trying to hang out with these young bitches and you can't do it, Shannon. You just can't do it.
Damn.
When they want you to go for the 4th round, you looking at her like, bitch, listen, you want some money to go to Starbucks?
Yeah,
because I can't go no further. But if you get your older girl, when you get to that 4th round, she's going to say, hold on. Let me go get you some eggs and cheese and some toast with apple butter, because that's going to get your energy back up. I'm talking right to you. Shit. So he was doing, I was going to be scared to yes, I'm talking, and I know an old gal, she'd be good to you. Her name is Elladora. Now, when you know somebody named Elladora, she's old school. Now, Miss Elladora told me to tell you. She said, I think he like red velvet.
Oh, I do.
I say, Miss Elladora, if he do like that, she said, you let him know I got something for him.
Yeah, I like
and she don't have no teeth. Come on, pick your glass up and clack. Come on now. These young gals will bite you. Okay.
This dating.
The young gals will bite you.
Yes, the young gals will bite you. And that's a really succinct point. Like, why the hell is it? Okay. It's not just a money thing. I think it is an older black man thing. It might even just be an older man thing to want to date the youngest thing in order to feel young.
This is not
midlife crisis. You want somebody to keep up with you, and you don't think that the people in their 30s and 40s or your age in their 50s can do the same thing.
Is a toxic trait that men have had since the beginning of time.
Yes.
When you read back in the history books, so often it didn't matter if the king or the pharaoh or the ruler or the monarch or whatever, he could have had a woman who he was married to for years and years. He gonna find himself a second wife after she, reaches 30. And he's 45 and he's gonna find himself a freaking 13-year-old, 18-year-old, 20-year-old to, make him feel like, ooh, I still got it.
Mm-hmm.
Because it's like, okay, we went dancing yesterday. I went dancing with my friends, and we're hanging out. We're at this club, and it's like seeing now at being 30 plus, you're seeing like the nightlife in a different way.
Mm-hmm.
It's like when we were younger and we were in our 20s, like being like 21, 22 in a club and seeing certain things, like, oh, there's always going to be this one random ass uncle who's there and looking at him with a side eye. And that's something when I was 21, when I was 25, when I was 30, now at 35, like seeing it in all those different spaces and having different levels of like awareness about it.
Mm-hmm.
Because it's like when my friends and I, like, we're at this club, we might be older than most of the people there.
Sure.
But like, we're not there looking for someone. Oh, let me find this 23-year-old guy.
Yeah, you're like, there to dance. You're literally to dance.
Like, have a good time. But like, you'll see these fucking men in their 3-piece suits, like they're going to the juke joint. And they're there because they're trying to find a little young thing who they'll buy a drink for $15. Maybe they'll get her something from the taco truck outside, want her to like go home with him or whatever. But it's like, y'all are really not trying to do anything but get your dick wet.
Yeah, of course.
And you want to have young puss. Because you think that makes you feel better about yourself. And regardless of the women, if these young women are just using you, it's for the sake of like, I'm not going to do anything with this old man, but if he wants to buy me a treat and a drink.
Well, they're both using each other, you mean?
Well, yeah, but like, she's not searching for him. He's searching for her. She's just like, yeah, sure. I'm with it. You gonna get me and my friends some drinks? Great. You gonna get us an Uber home? Great. Like, if he's cute enough, it's possible she might fuck on him a little bit. That might happen, but eventually, so like, I'm not ever thinking about anything with you seriously. And you are in a space where you have so much money, you feel like you are better. Not only that you're better than the women in your age, but you think you're better than the black women in your age group. So you go to find a young white woman because you feel like at your level, you should be able to have any woman that you want, regardless of whether or not it is age appropriate, regardless of whether or not they're racist or not. But what's his name? Cat Williams said this to him on his show. Again, advice that he did not follow.
Yes.
I want to get with a white woman because I was scared she might have me running down the street like Jonathan Majors.
There you go. See, come on, cat.
Not because I didn't like white women. I think white women are as great as any other women. But I'm not going to act like I'm not scared of them. I have a reason to be scared. You could be Kang the Conqueror, and they could take your rabbit ass down in 2 weekends. That's the truth. I want to get with a white woman because I was scared she might have me running down the street like Jonathan Majors.
There you go. See, come on, cat.
Not because I didn't like white women.
Yeah. That's a pretty good point.
Do you think when you were dating white women, did you have that fear?
No, because I didn't think that I was going to be rich at any point. So
is it
I didn't
only
have
about
to.
Wealth?
Yeah, like I didn't think I'd have to. It's not like I thought like I was gonna have money or anything like that. Like, so I was a broke, starving artist. You know, so I just used my charm and wit and humor to, you know, do the damn thing with some of these white women. But no, I wasn't. I didn't have a healthy fear of white women.
Do you feel like you should have had a healthy fear?
In the grand scheme of things, no, things worked out pretty well for me, again, because once I started getting money, I moved away from white women. And even now, it's not like I'm flourishing with money or anything like that. Like I don't have I might as well just be as. I just have always been broke. I've always been broke. So yeah, I just the only difference is that now I'm broke without white women. So there it is. There you go.
But it's one thing that was interesting to me when I was reading what some of the text messages that were coming out and the audios is that they were doing a lot of race play. Like she wanted to put these big black babies in her.
Right. Yeah.
And it was like so weird. And I'm just always confused. Like, why, when folks are doing race play, do they always go straight to like the slave scenario? Why can't we do something else? Like, why can't it be that?
What is the futuristic race baiting?
Like, why can't we
race
do
play?
We can do race play as in like you're a Englishman who's for the first time is traveling around and it comes to Africa. You come to Nigeria to travel. And you've been hearing about the dark continent, and you're so curious.
How is that not worse?
wait, you come there, and you get off your ship, and you see this beautiful black woman, and she's like, maybe she's walking around, she's like knitting or whatever, she's doing something. You see her, and you're like, oh my gosh, what is that beautiful aroma that's coming off of her? Because white women in the time didn't wash, so you would have different smells.
They still don't wash.
Well, yeah, exactly.
They ain't washing their legs.
You see her and you're like, oh my god, she smells amazing. And she looks over, like you go to say hello, and she looks over and she's like, what's going on with you? Like, you stink. And he's like,
again,
what?
This is supposed to be sexy. Like, where does the sexiness come in?
Is it sexy for you to be a fucking slave? We're working within the confines of what we got. Okay, I'm gonna tell you, this is a non-cringy story. He comes up to her and she's like, oh honey, you stink. Like, you need to take a shower. And then you go into the shower. Now she's showing you how to bathe. She's showing you how to use a washcloth. She's putting the soap on there. You're scrubbing all of your parts. Now you come out and you're like, she's like, oh, you smell so great. I love this. Let's put some lotion on you. I know you don't use that, but here's some cocoa butter. Here's some shea butter. Let's moisturize yourself. And now you're both of you are moisturized, you're slick, you're shiny, you're smelling good.
You've thought about this like
this is
a
off the
lot.
Top of the dome.
Is this off the top of the dome?
Off the top of the dome.
Are you sure this is not an example?
I have never race played with a white man that we would take a shower.
Are you sure? Are you sure?
I'm sure. But I think it's a good one.
Coming off the continent and introducing them to shea butter, that's just straight off the dome.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's something that it doesn't involve fucking or fucking slaves. Or okay, you're an Irishman. Okay? You're an Irishman who comes to the States. You immigrate over.
I'm gonna fix that famine and give you a potato.
While you're here, you see the British folks talking down to the black folks, and you're like, fuck these colonizers. We're going to stand up to them and get together. And now you see your buddy's daughter, sister or something, because y'all the same age appropriate, and you go over talk to her. And now you're like, we're working together to bring down the 1% of these wealthy white landowners. And you fall in love.
You're right. See, and that's why your race play doesn't really happen that much, is because yours involved love. Yours involved we fall in love.
Fine, like lust. You're sexing it up.
We're sexing it up to combat the oppression, right?
Or okay, let's do a futuristic one. Okay, the year is 2100. The European colonies or the European countries have fallen because of their lack of resources in those countries, because they don't have any. They export all or import all of them from Africa and their colonies, right?
Mm-hmm.
So the African continent flourishing. A black missionary, but not a missionary, what would you call it? A community service member goes out to try to help the poor and downtrodden in England. She comes there, she meets a rebel because there's a lot of rebellions happening at the time against the wealthy.
So this is a reverse Freedom Riders.
And she goes there.
Or Dangerous Minds.
and like, he's like, let me show you how we move around these parts and all that. And then they're fucking. Like, just... This is a history. If you're interested in slave play because you like the historical accuracy or historical context, how about go to Europe around the 1920s, Prohibition time? Think Peaky Blinders. Okay, at that time, you remember Europeans have always had lots of their own tribes. You meet a Romani man who's fighting against the white British oligarchs. You come there from your country, you're doing well, you have food, you have lotion, you take a bath, you introduce
yours is like lotion in history lessons. Like that is your race play. We don't need no more examples because I've gotten a pretty accurate picture of what your race play is. It's all historical fiction and lotion with shea butter and coconut oil. Like it works. I get it. I get it.
Does it not work?
Here we go. That's, you know what? That's not necessarily for me to say. I didn't get a necessary wiggle from
so you
any
want someone
of this.
Call you a nigger as a
no,
slave master?
I never said I like race play at all. None of this plays for me. Like none of it does. And as somebody who has had sex with multiple white women, I have never ventured even close to having that happen.
Ever called you like a colored man?
No, but do you even have sex at all? Like, what do you think is happening in the bedroom?
I don't
know.
That
people are calling each other colored man? You think white women are calling me colored man?
A big black buck? I don't know what they're talking about.
No one is saying buck. Like,
what are they saying?
You in history have no place in the bedroom, in the boudoir.
Are they bringing up any color specific notions?
They are.
Do they say things like, "Oh, you're a big black dick"?
That happened once, and I had to correct them.
You corrected them?
Yeah, I did.
While you were having sex?
Oh yeah, I've told you how like out of sheer disdain for someone calling me Momo during sex because my nephew calls me Momo, and I told them don't call me that please during sex, and so then I just sat there and I shriveled up inside of them. So I have no problem with just stopping things if there's something that I heard that I do not like and just shrinking, shrinky dinking. I call it shrinky dinking, shrinky dinking,
shrinky dicks,
not shrinky dicks. It's shrinky dinking. I call it shrinky dinking. Anywho, where were we?
The race play.
No, we're done with race play.
No, but now here's the things. Do you have issue with Shannon because he's having this relationship with this white woman and doing race play? Do you have the issue because she's so much younger? Or do you have the issue because he was being rough with her?
It's all of the above. Like it's a little bit of everything. Like the more serious nature is the idea of
him raping her,
him doing anything that would be non-consensual.
Yeah.
So like that's the thing that is paramount to me. Like yes, for those of y'all who don't know, if you are having vaginal sex and y'all have not agreed to have anal sex, and then you go into the anus, that is considered grape.
That's not consent. I didn't tell you to
That
go in
is
there.
not consent.
If you take your condom off while you're having sex.
Yes, if you remove your condom and you did not agree to that, and you did not say and you did not tell them that's stealthing, and that is also non-consensual.
So the thing is, and this is the part is important because I feel like a lot of people, when they've been talking about the story, they've been mentioning like BDSM,
yeah,
and all that. It is. I know that
with BDSM,
50 Shades of Grey,
mm-hmm.
a lot of people got confused or have like weird notions of what BDSM is. BDSM is not just, oh, I'm hitting you, I'm choking you, I'm spanking you, and all that, and just it's fun because it's being rough. There are so many things that go into a BDSM situation, but number one is consent.
Yes.
Here's a safe word. What do your aftercare? Making sure the person feels good and feels safe.
Fucking fries. Remember fries from that orientation video that we watched?
Yes.
I forget.
Was it Asia?
Yeah.
That did it?
Yeah, Asia
that was
did
a
it.
great one.
That was it.
Like, you need to have consent.
Mm-hmm.
You need to have enthusiastic
consent. Yes.
You need to make sure that you and the other person are enjoying what's happening and checking in with each other, because at any moment, maybe they do like a choke, but maybe it's a little too hard. Are you paying attention? Because if you're not choking them correctly, you could really hurt them.
Yeah.
If you're spanking them too hard, you could really hurt them. If you're tying them up too hard, you could really hurt them. The point of BDSM is you are not trying to inflict harm onto your partner.
It's a means of sexual escapism.
It's a sexual escapism. It's just you're going through you're crossing certain boundaries, you're being open-minded, you're trying different things that may or may not like tickle your fancy, but it is not something where, oh, I'm punching you in the face and then fucking you. Like, unless that is a part of the contract y'all discussed, that's not what it is.
Yes. And for those of y'all who are paying for any of this experience, like, I would say definitely have some sort of written agreement in place. Like, these are the things, lay everything out. Like, these are the things that are okay. These are the things that are not okay. This is the safe word. This is the fun word that might
you need to have
not be the safe word, but you need
hard
yeses, hard no's,
so that everyone is having a great time. Because I think that, to me, the worst thing that could happen during a sexual experience is either one of the people walking away feeling bad about what just happened.
Feeling uncomfortable,
Feeling uncomfortable. Like, yeah, of course, sometimes things get awkward. It can be weird, but that's just a part of sex. Like, sex is not supposed to be a movie where, like, every shot's perfect and nobody might laugh or fart or something. Like, shit's gonna happen, right?
Yeah.
But like, that part is the stuff that you laugh about afterwards. But you should be able to leave every sexual experience. I enjoyed this. This went, even if it didn't go perfectly, like, we had a good time, and knowing that your partner is taken care of and that your partner wants to take care of you. Which obviously whatever Shannon was doing was not that. And now whether it actually amounts to, was he taking away her consent and harming her, that is something that we will not know. We were not there. But whether it's that she is looking for a payout, you shouldn't have been dating somebody who was a teenager. Whether she is exaggerating the situation and it didn't actually go the way that she's saying, you shouldn't have been fucking a teenager.
There we go.
Whether Tony Busby has reached out to her to have her manipulate the situation and get you out of $50 million from your $100 million contract, you shouldn't have been fucking with a teenager. It's really very simple.
It's really
and
simple.
easy.
It's really simple. Not even a white teenager.
Just a teenager at all.
The whiteness adds another layer to it, but the teenager, the young 20s, anything like that. Like, no, like
you just find somebody who is age appropriate.
Find somebody who's 35.
35 is fine. You're
35 is
50-something.
fine.
That's 20 years. If you're talking about a younger woman, okay. But at least a 35-year-old that's a grown woman, like she's making decisions for herself. She knows what's going on. There's no way that you're telling me that someone who you met, who maybe they were 18, maybe they were 19.
There's a bunch of OnlyFans people in their 30s
that will do whatever
that will
do
pay. You could pay them to do a bunch of really ridiculous shit. Like, and not ridiculous. Like, I'm not kink shaming anybody for anything that they might be into, with the exception of like scat play.
Yeah, I'm always gonna shame you for that.
Yeah. You could definitely find these people, Shannon. I'm talking directly to you.
Money.
You have a lot of money.
Go and find somebody,
and you don't want to lose that money.
You're dealing with a child.
You should be Hold on.
Having childish shit happen.
I am poor and I'm broke and I do everything I can to possibly hoard money as much as I possibly can. I starve myself so that I can at least say that I have a smithering of a smack roll of a dollar bill in my fucking savings account. Okay? You have all the money in the world. You have more money than Jesus. You have to be focusing on doing things and moving in a way to not have to relinquish your money for bullshit. You know? And I'm not saying that whatever happened between you two, I'm not calling it bullshit. I'm saying that to you, who is going through this experience, to you, this may seem like bullshit. And that is because you are not moving in a way to protect your money, protect your
fucking around and
cash.
finding out.
Yeah, you fucked around, and now Shannon Sharpe is about to have to run that cheddar, that Sharpe Cheddar.
And he stepped down from ESPN.
Yeah, he did. Sharpe Cheddar.
So you will not be getting, I guess, that $100 million.
Nothing for Sharpe Cheddar, by the way.
I like Sharpe Cheddar. Yes,
okay.
I was with you.
Okay.
I'm with you when you're right. But I think there's just like this layer of, would you have tried to pay off $10 million if none of what you were saying was true? Like, what would be the reason of paying that money? Is it because whether or not maybe some of the allegations of you being non-consensual or may not have been true, but maybe you've had some really weird, gross messages and things like that you don't want to come out to the world. And these are things where it's like, again, you put yourself in a situation and now you're fucking having to deal with it. So
yeah, I often think what I would do if I had money. I don't think I would pay for sex.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think I would. Like, I don't think, like, there, as somebody who likes the artisanal. Yes, I like the artisanal experience of, certain actors within that pornographic space.
Mm-hmm.
Would I want to pay to interact with any of them? Probably not.
I would.
You would?
There's a few people that
Who?
would.
Name two.
Name two?
Name two.
King Noir.
Mm-hmm.
And
Marley Moore.
Are you telling me that for me?
No, for me.
Oh, okay. Oh, yes, but I mean, Marley Moore would be cool.
Yeah, Marley Moore would
King
be
Noir.
Mm-hmm.
So let's say Marley Moore, because I would say yes to her.
Yeah, sure.
Troy Francisco.
I'm trying to think of somebody else.
Nikki Darling.
But
that's more than two. And post pre-surgery Kira Noir.
yeah, not Kira Noir anymore. Hazel Grace.
Yeah,
Hazel
but
Grace.
Sometimes Hazel Grace, I don't know. Sometimes she's been giving me.
What? What's wrong with
I'm
Hazel
not king
Grace?
shaming her. I'm not gonna king shame, but there's some things that I've been seeing. And I'm just like, damn, are you just really looking? Are you
Is
losing?
she in the race play or something?
Well, it's like
Because I've only really I've seen her maybe have interactions with maybe one or two black people, but mostly just white guys.
I mean, I feel like the thing that gave me pause last time I saw some videos of her come up, where it was like she was doing ass to mouth, and there might have been something.
Oh, I know the exact video that you're referring to. Yeah, it was on Tushy.
I'm not with that.
Yeah,
not with that at all. Because mainly the reason I'm not with it is because I don't think they're with it. I feel like they're doing it because they need to, because they need to. With porn, you constantly. Well, there are some people who, in order to stay relevant, have to do more and more things, which is something if you've read or watched videos, non-pornographic videos of porn stars talking. A lot of them say those things, especially the women, is like you're constantly having to do more and more, which is why a lot of them will branch out, create their own studios.
Yeah, you get the rebel writers who start off like just doing like more innocent interracial play, and then fast forward and they're drinking urine.
And I don't want to see it. I do not want to see it.
I did until I didn't want to. You know what I mean? Like, I was curious, and then I was like, this is as disgusting as I thought it would be.
Yeah. So, it's enough. It's enough.
it was like, oh, okay. Like, because I thought it was just, peeing on the body. No, it's drinking it. And I was just like, oh, okay. Well, this is not something that I ever want to live through anymore.
1 cup era of college.
Nothing is gonna desensitize me, but some stuff will be like, okay, I'm going to turn the TV off, like Kendrick Lamar said.
It's like
I'm channeling Kendrick Lamar, and I'm just gonna be like, turn the TV off.
I just feel like those things are like, unnecessary.
Maybe read a book.
Read a book. Now moving on from the Shannon Sharpe. This is our last thing we want to talk about because it's been a hot button issue.
Was this up at all?
I don't know. I don't think so.
Okay. Well, anyhow.
One thing
we had it. We had the banner for Shannon Sharpe.
One thing that has been happening or going all around has been social media. And also in my classrooms, because the students have been talking to me about it, is this viral conversation of men versus a gorilla.
Yes. Isn't it like 100 men versus
100 men
versus one gorilla or 10 gorillas?
No, 100 men versus a gorilla.
First off, I think that because we haven't talked about this even off the podcast. We've just been seeing a bunch of people discuss man versus gorilla. Here's the thing. I think that I would never want to be one of the 100 men versus a gorilla.
Yeah.
2, I do think that 100 men could defeat one gorilla, but it would have to be done in waves, like waves of 5 or 10, like waves of 5 or 10. And even then, that gorilla is destroying the majority of the waves, So I would say half to 4/5 of the men would probably die.
Yes.
Would definitely die.
I'm 100% going to be going with that, and even more than half. Honestly, I would think.
And again, this is with no weapons. This is just with hands.
This is hand-to-hand combat. There's no
hand-to-hand combat. I do think that like if you wear a gorilla down after wave after wave after wave of murdering these men, I think that at a certain point you could fucking pop out a gorilla eyeball and blind them and then go from there.
So before I give my thoughts, I want to show you what the Encyclopedia Britannica has shared on their Twitter to just give folks an awareness, and I have some stats of these on my own, an awareness of a gorilla and a human, okay? So now this is one thing: gorillas are quadrupeds, so they walk on all they can walk on all fours.
Yes, they can.
All right, but they also have their opposable thumbs on both sides.
Yeah, they have opposable thumbs on both their hands and their feet.
Yes, and obviously we see what people are. That's just not the same. Okay, the human versus the gorilla. Your legs, so your gluteus maximus, your forceps, or not your forceps,
a gorilla ass,
your ass, your thighs, your feet. Now there's one thing to note: look at the gluteus maximus and the bicep femoris, which is like your femur biceps on your thighs. Look at the difference between the average human and the average gorilla.
Yeah, no, it's definitely more thicker, and this is making me hungry. Just saying all this raw meat.
Look at the pelvis between a human and a gorilla. The gorilla pelvis seems so much like longer and thicker and stronger to me. Like it looks like it's gonna be, you could have more weight on it compared. And then here's our bones and things. Look at the arm length and the reach of both. The hands. And even though now, remember, we are evolved from primates, so we do have the similar bone structures and things like that, but their hands by themselves are larger and wider than we are. So I think that is an important thing to remember. But now let's just go over some facts, okay? The average
gorilla,
the eastern gorilla, the height is between 5'5" to 5'9", a weight of 300 to 485 pounds for the males. For the women, 150 to 250 pounds. Western gorilla, 4'7" to 5'3". The males are 220 to 440 pounds. The women are 130 to 200 pounds. And the men, they are bigger, stronger. Those are the silverbacks. But they walk on all fours, but they can stand and walk on their two legs for long distances and things.
Sure.
Gorillas have a 4 to 10 times the strength of an average adult human. That they could bench press about 800,000 to 2,400 pounds. Obviously, this would depend on the animal, and not talking necessarily about the actual bench press, but like think of a tree or something. Like
sure.
They can break bamboo sticks, which you know are very tough.
Yes.
They can rip apart banana trees. And can throw objects with such a great force that they could maybe not impale you, but definitely hurt really bad, right?
Yes.
They're super smart, and they live in social groups, so they know how to have community. They have wars within various tribes.
So they're not docile animals.
No,
they're war ready.
They're like humans,
yeah,
just without the speech that we have, right? The average adult human male, the average height is about 5'9". Adult woman, 5'4". The average weight for a man is about 200 pounds. The average weight for a woman is 170 pounds.
Mm-hmm.
The average bench press for an untrained man, which means you don't go to the gym and stuff like that, on average 135 pounds.
Mm-hmm.
For a woman, 65 to 80. Or a deadlift would be for a man 155 to 175 pounds. For a woman, 95 to 115. And so I am very confused as to why people think that 100 men would kill one gorilla, mainly because this is what I think is going to happen.
Mm-hmm.
You have these 100 men lined up.
Sure. Okay. See, I think that's the first
Or
problem.
like in a group.
have them
not
all
lined
lined
up,
up.
but they're in a
yeah.
group. They're all
Okay.
together.
Okay, yeah. In your mind, it already starts to feel like all those martial arts movies where it's like 1v30 and it's like one at a time.
No, that's not what I'm saying at all. The men are all there.
Sure.
Then there's the one gorilla.
Sure.
Even when all the men are going to run at this gorilla to face it at the same time, right? The first person who gets their limbs ripped off, folks are running away. So now you've trickled down to 50, okay? Now you got folks they're jumping, they're sliding on blood and innards, they're trying to get at the gorilla. They're trying to jump on the gorilla's back. The gorilla's flinging them off. It's not going to end well. And I think let's say when we watched Last of Us, when that bloater came walking down the street, those folks, those men with the fire,
with the flamethrowers,
ran right the fuck off. Okay, and that's what's going to happen. Now there is because this conversation has gone so far. A expert was recently talking on CNN about this, and their name's Ron McGill. They are a photographer and a conservationist, and this is what they had to say about the debate.
Who would win in a fight, Ron? 100 men or one gorilla?
Well, Boris, there's a lot of things you got to take into consideration here. First of all, it's 100, let's say it's 100 men in their 20s or 30s. So 100 healthy men. They've got to be committed, because if they go in, they've got to go on all at once. It's not like a couple goes in one at a time, because the gorilla is going to win that. But if they go on all at once, there really is no way a gorilla is going to win that. A gorilla is a very powerful animal, but keep in mind, this is a gentle giant. The only way a gorilla is going to become aggressive is to protect his family. These are vegetarians. They're herbivores. They don't eat meat. They don't kill to feed. They just fight to defend their families. But if you got 100 men coming at them, the reality is that the gorilla would have no chance. He'd probably create some tremendous collateral damage. You might lose a few of those men. It'd be a kamikaze mission for the first ones to get to the gorilla. But at the end of the day, if everybody remains committed and united, they wrap themselves around that gorilla like a big straitjacket, they can inflict some serious injury through abdominal, trauma. There's all kinds of trauma that can, and just asphyxiating the gorilla. So it's really it's a no question to me.
Now this
asphyxiating the gorilla?
Yeah.
Like, no, I know, but like, I'm thinking like how many men it would take to wrap their hands around or arms around
I'm saying.
Thick ass gorilla neck.
You have to find, first of all, where's the gorilla's larynx? Is it in the same area that we are?
Larynx. Is this a Jarl in whatever?
It's a larynx.
It's a larynx.
Larynx. So larynx. How are you pronouncing it?
Larynx. The larynx. The term larynx is the Malay word for.
Yeah, I know what it is. Let's see what
which is the voice box. Yeah, the voice box
has to say.
Pull out.
Hold on. Let me see what the dictionary has to say. Say it.
Larynx. 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 I think you're putting the N before the Y. And you're saying larynx.
Larynx.
Yeah, it's larynx. Okay. Larynx. Yeah, it's larynx.
All right. Well, learn something new. Either way, I don't think there's going to be enough people who are knowing how to do that. I think that people are not going to be consistent.
Mm-hmm.
He said you need to be committed. They're not going to be committed to that.
I think the first few waves are probably going to be the most committed. Then
yeah, but then they're going to be being bashed like fucking Donkey Kong, and they're going to stop being
assuming
committed.
that all 100 people are there, and they're like, it's not like they're gonna cast fear on them to make them run away or anything like that.
They don't have to cast fear. They're gonna watch someone's jaw be ripped off, and that's gonna be a little bit of a fearful.
Yeah, that's also something that nobody factors in is the gorilla mouth. Like they have fangs, right?
They have fangs, and they're going to chop your face off.
Fucked up because for herbivores, why the fuck do they need fangs?
I watched Chimp Crazy, and I'm telling you, there's no way.
Yeah, they will rip. Well, I mean, chimps and gorillas are two different.
No, I know that, but they're both very strong.
Yeah.
And I just think that people are not.
That's why if ever I
attention.
get a monkey, it's gonna be one of those helper monkey capuchins. That you put them in a diaper, get them to hang out with you, and get you a Dr. Pepper from the other room.
Everybody, tell us what you think.
Yes, let us know
And
who wins, 100 men or a gorilla.
Who do you want in your 100 men? Like who are the people you're putting in?
Oh, we have to put people in?
Yeah, like if you could think, like who would you pick as your 100 men?
Ooh.
Who are 10 men you'd pick?
Chuck Norris.
Now Chuck Norris?
Yes, now Chuck Norris, because he's conservative. He would be in the first wave.
Put him in there with Hulk Hogan.
Yes, Hulk Hogan is another one.
Mm-hmm.
So Hulk Hogan, Chuck Norris, Vince McMahon,
Donald Trump.
What? Because Donald Trump doesn't even seem like he would be committed to doing.
Of course, but he's in the first wave, so either way, you gotta go.
Like I would put him in the first wave, but he would probably be like, this is a beautiful ape, and we're going to surround it with the most beautiful men that you could possibly find, like the most strong, athletic, beautiful men who aren't immigrants. Like, you know what I mean? Yeah. Like he won't actually fight.
Well, that's
why I'm looking for fighters.
You want to know how he's gonna die? Because he's gonna slip on someone's blood, and then he's gonna trip.
Yeah, he's gonna slip and fall. He's gonna slip and fall.
Yeah. I think who else we add? I'll add Dr. Umar. He can go in there.
Mm-hmm.
Stephen A. Smith.
Shannon Sharpe.
Because they all have terrible.
He doesn't seem like he'd be strong enough to do
I'm not
anything.
sending people in because they're strong enough to do it.
Oh, so you're just sending the people you don't like. I at least was like sending people who like had some fucking form
Shannon Sharpe
of martial arts. I did Chuck Norris and Hulk Hogan. Like at least
Stephen A. Smith could probably maneuver or something.
He's like a scavenger in the apocalypse. Yeah. He's not a fucking fighter. You wouldn't put him in the front lines.
Let's put in Chris Pratt.
Okay, yeah, sure, Chris Pratt.
Who else is going in there?
3 more, and then we can move on.
Damn, I can't think of 3 people. 3 other people. What's his name? What's his name from? Man,
from what?
Remember the movie The Couples Retreat? The lead guy.
Couples Retreat. Oh, Jason Bateman?
No, not him.
Vince Vaughn?
Vince Vaughn.
What's wrong with? Why would you put Vince Vaughn in there? What did he do?
He's also a Trumper.
Oh,
so he can go. He's strong.
I mean,
I
don't know about just putting people just because.
I'm not.
What's wrong with Donald Faison?
I'm sorry, not Donald Faison. Faison Glover. What's the other one?
Faison.
No, who?
Faison Glover.
Donald Faison is the one from Scrubs.
Yes.
So not him. What's the Faison that was on Parenthood?
Oh, Faison Love. Love Faison. Faison Love.
Faison Love. Yes.
Yeah.
Him.
Okay.
He's big enough.
Okay. Yeah.
He can get
sure.
some
hits
in.
Faison Love.
Ari Spears.
And Ari Spears. All right. That's 3,
it.
I think. All right.
That's good.
Okay. Yeah.
All right. So that's all we have this week.
Yes, that is everything that we had this week. Let me take down the pop culture and the man versus gorilla banners. Thank y'all for checking out the podcast. As always, like, share, rate, and subscribe. Click the notification bell. We appreciate y'all checking us out. If y'all are on Instagram, I forgot to give you a warning that the Instagram thing probably cut off. So you're probably not seeing this unless you came over to the YouTube channel. But until next time, take it easy, keep it sleazy. Bye to everybody, and may the 4th be with all of you. Goodbye.
Thanks for listening to the show. If you'd like to contact the podcast, you can reach us via email at blackandsnerdypodcast@gmail.com. You can also find us on Instagram and TikTok at Black and Snurdy Podcast, as well as on Twitter at Black and Snurdy. You can find me, Maurice, on all social media under the handle Licorish is Legit. That's LICORISH is legit.
And you can find me on Instagram. It's ThatsOD, THATSOD.E. And on Twitter, THATSOD_E. And don't forget to like, rate, and subscribe to us. Tune in next time to the Black and Snurdy Podcast, where nerds of a feather flock together.
Remember?
Bye.
Boy.
Not yet.
No, this is keeping it. We're keeping this in. Don't forget to take your meds and your subs and drink water. Bye.
Bye.
I actually wanted to keep that.